Kamikaze Chris, known to the outside world, was a fearless driver and a force to be reckoned with on the streets. His will to win seemed unstoppable, but street racing isn't just about speed. It's a high-stakes game where even the best can't outrun fate forever. Just when it seemed like Chris had solidified his legacy, disaster struck, turning his world upside down in an instant. This is the heartbreaking story of Kamikaze Chris and the tragedy that changed everything. Chris, the man behind that menacing flat black El Camino on Street Outlaws, isn't the kind of guy most would peg as a street racing powerhouse. By all accounts, he wasn't supposed to make it, but time and time again, he shatters expectations. Life just took him down this road, and he ran with it because for Chris, being the underdog is all he has ever known. Growing up in a working-class home in a tough part of Oklahoma City, Chris didn't have much. In his own words, his family wasn't just struggling. They were flat-out broke. If he wanted anything beyond the basics, that was on him to figure out. And for Chris, there was only one thing worth chasing: racing. Not cars at first. Chris started with dirt bikes, as he's not necessarily a car guy, but a racing guy. By the time he was 3, he was already on a motorcycle, and he never looked back. While most kids his age were playing in the park, he was working every odd job he could find just to keep his bike running. Twice a week, he lined up at the starting gate, racing against riders nearly twice his age. But that didn't faze him. Chris had a strong determination to succeed in his passion for speed and a strong work ethic, which he inherited from his successful drag boat racer father. He embraced his father's simple rule of, "You break it, you fix it," and applied it to his own life. In order to fund his passion for racing, Chris worked hard by mowing lawns, chopping trees, and doing any odd job to gather the necessary funds for his next ride, starting from a BMX bike to his first dirt bike. As he delved into real competition, his drive to win became unstoppable, and he not only raced, but also assisted others in improving their performance, particularly in car racing. During high school, Chris crossed paths with Justin Big Chief Shearer, and their shared intense competitiveness and love for cars laid the foundation of their friendship. Their bond was strengthened through their late-night sessions in the garage, where Chris dedicated himself to working on Big Chief's 1972 Pontiac Lemons, known as the Crow, together. This hands-on experience set Chris on his own path, leading him to work on various cars, including a Chevy Eluvi, a Blazer, and a remarkable 1971 emerald green painted A-body Chevelle, which was both fast and audacious. Despite the transient nature of cars in his life, Chris maintained strong connections with a core group of Oklahoma City racers who shared his serious commitment to dominating the racing scene. For Chris and his crew, racing was not just a casual pastime, but a serious dedication, evident in the way Chris drove with calculated yet daring determination, always pushing the limits between control and chaos. The nickname Kamikaze originated from his ability to make even the most extreme situations appear effortless. For him, driving was purely instinctual, and he found his peace at full throttle just moments away from disaster. Thriving on the rush, the edge, and the pure adrenaline of pushing himself and his car to the absolute limit made him feel alive. This attitude caught the attention of Big Chief, and he joined Street Outlaws in its 3rd season, bringing raw, no-holds-barred energy to the screen. His presence helped popularize drag racing, and propelled him to become one of the most discussed racers in the country. As a result, he became the proud owner of what might be the most famous El Camino in the game. Prior to acquiring the El Camino, it belonged to his childhood friend Tyler Flip Pretty and was known as the Elco. The car was a Frankenstein build assembled from leftover parts from their friends' cars, yet it still made a name for itself in the first season of Street Outlaws. It was loud, obnoxious, and had a reputation for being patched up with silicone, JB Weld, duct tape, and Bondo. Following Flip's passing, his longtime friend, Justin Big Chief Shearer, knew that Chris was the only person who should inherit the car without any hesitation. After sitting idle for over a year, Chris brought the car back to life, and when he turned the key, the engine roared as if it had been waiting for him all along. However, the car didn't return quietly from retirement, as one of the rear brakes locked up and caught fire during its first real drive, leading to a full rebuild. Chris made a deal to install a friend's pre-built 582 engine, despite his preference for building his own engines. But this decision turned out to be a nightmare, requiring 13 rebuilds in a single season. During the racing season, operating a funny car was akin to a series of continuous rebuilds and challenges. Chris, driven by the pursuit of speed, decided to make a significant change after enduring numerous setbacks. He chose to partner with Graham Jones at Fast Times Motor Works to construct a formidable, all-aluminum 632 engine with a 4-stage nitrous system. Additionally, he and his friend Les undertook a back-half chassis conversion in their garage with the goal of reclaiming a spot on OKC's top 10 list. By the summer of 2017, and victories, Chris still felt that the performance of his car was not meeting his expectations. He sought the expertise of Konka Racing Engines in Arizona to optimize the engine build, utilizing components from Wisco, Crower, and Pack. The transition to electronic fuel injection, incorporating parts from fuel injector development and a Haltech EFI system, allowed precise control over the 6-stage nitrous system on the El Camino. To address traction issues, a new chromal tube front end was fabricated by Autofab Race Cars in Maryland, enhancing the car's performance. Furthermore, the installation of a tank for ice water cooling and meticulous suspension tuning with QA1 coilovers and PAC springs significantly improved control and power distribution. The Powerglide transmission and Moser 9-inch rear end, along with the original 4-link setup, ensured the car's capability while retaining its inherent unpredictability. However, certain aspects of the El Camino, such as its lengthy stock wheelbase and unconventional cab placement, presented inherent challenges due to its truck-like characteristics. Despite these inherent hurdles, Chris remained committed to the adventurous nature of his car, relying on 29.5 by 10 Z5 Hoosier slicks for traction during every exhilarating pass. Part of the enjoyment in racing for Chris is the thrill of the experience, as long as he avoids any hazardous situations such as being on fire. Chris's dedication to racing goes beyond being just a weekend hobby. It has become a way of life for him. Every detail of his car, from the bolts to the dents and the late nights spent in the garage, tells a story of the sacrifices made along the way. His car is more than just a machine. It's a product of hard work, sleepless nights, and every spare dollar he could muster. During the day, Chris operates a small heating and air conditioning business, but by night, He can be found in the garage meticulously maintaining his car. His meticulous attention to detail, such as cleaning the Lexan windows, checking spark plugs, and fine-tuning the tires and brakes, reflects his commitment to excellence. Chris, a working-class individual who self-funds his racing endeavors, defies the odds by competing with big names in the industry, despite the financial challenges he faces. The cost of racing has often pushed Chris to his limits, even leaving him financially strained during competitions, but he embraces the label of an underdog as his reality. Chris's stubbornness and pride are the driving forces behind his ability to persevere, build, and achieve victories with his El Camino. Behind every successful racer is a dedicated team and support from companies like Haltech, Speedmaster, and Wolf Aircraft Products, which play a crucial role in keeping him competitive. His car stands as a testament to the power of passion, pride, and relentless determination, showcasing what can be achieved when money alone is not sufficient. Chris firmly believes that anyone willing to invest their time, finances, and heart could build a car like his, emphasizing that this kind of racing is within reach for those who are committed. Despite the intensity of the sport, Chris never hesitated to fully commit himself, embracing the all-or-nothing mindset that has driven him throughout his racing journey. As someone deeply entrenched in the racing world, Chris understands that having an all-or-nothing approach is essential to achieving victory. However, little did Chris know that the same car which had brought him tremendous success was about to lead him into a catastrophic turn of events. While street racing is known for its dangers, enthusiasts, including fans of Street Outlaws and its spin-offs, are drawn to the electrifying rush, the power of high-performance machines, and the intense split-second decisions at the starting line. Crashes, although inevitable in the sport, never fail to shock due to the rapid transformation of a finely tuned race car from peak performance to a mangled wreck. Chris Kamikaze, known for his legendary 1981 Chevy El Camino, experienced a harsh lesson in the unforgiving nature of street racing while filming Street Outlaws in July 2020. The impact of the crash left his El Camino beyond repair, with the body, chassis, engine, and turbochargers suffering a total loss. Despite the extensive damage, only a few parts, such as the parachute lever, shifter, and rear housing, were salvageable. Sharing the emotional story on his YouTube channel Kamikaze Life, Chris revealed that his El Camino had been giving him trouble with its drive shaft sensor even before the ill-fated race. Losing his beloved car wasn't just a financial blow, it was the end of an era and a deeply emotional experience for Chris, who had a strong connection to the vehicle. However, demonstrating his resilience, Chris refused to let the crash define his racing career and decided to auction off the wrecked parts from the El Camino on eBay for his big comeback. The auction gained significant attention, with the bid count reaching an impressive $10,600, and Chris further electrified fans by offering to personally cook and serve a steak dinner to the winner if the bid hit $25,000, all while wearing his race suit and live streaming on Facebook. The significance of these wrecked parts as pieces of racing history, combined with Chris's bold offer, sparked immense interest among Street Outlaws fans, resulting in over 100 orders within a week. Proceeds from the auction went directly into Chris's next project, a C5 Corvette built for speed, which carried a familiar presence reminiscent of the El Camino, as Chris meticulously salvaged and rebuilt various components from the wreckage for the new build. Despite rumors, Kamikaze Chris has not stepped away from the racing world and continues to dominate the streets of Oklahoma and compete in no-prep events across the country. Chris, known for his TV fame, launched Kamikaze Motorsports, an online store filled with merchandise and die-cast models of his iconic El Camino. In addition to Kamikaze Motorsports, he also manages a YouTube channel called Kamikaze Life, where he shares wild road adventures and glimpses into his everyday life with over 70,000 subscribers since its launch in 2020. Amidst various side ventures, racing remains at the core of Chris's pursuits, leading fans to wonder about his unexpected absence from Street Outlaws. In July 2023, Chris addressed speculations on Facebook, informing fans that he would not be part of the 6th season of No Prep Kings, yet leaving his absence unexplained.